Well, it was a wet day out there. I tell you, I'm really proud of our team, especially in the second half. We didn't start out very well. I think you have to give North Carolina credit. They came out and really played really hard on both sides of the ball, and it was kind of funny there in the first half. There wasn't a lot of possessions, and you need to maximize them. And you know, they did a good job getting the lead. Our guys, I thought the momentum changed when we were able to take that last drive right before half and go down and score. Close the thing to one score. We knew we were getting the ball first. We come out, Mr. Reed, they got us stopped, and then we got them backed up and got great field position, was able to take the lead. Once we got the lead, it was kind of like we got a renewed energy, and you know, we played much better defensively in the second half and much better offensively too, I thought.
It seemed like, Coach, that offensively you guys kind of were out of sync and maybe having trouble with footing and holding on to the ball and that kind of stuff.
We weren't having trouble with footing. We were having trouble with reads. And, you know, that first series we missed a couple of guys that were open or didn't make a play. And like I said, there weren't a lot of possessions. There were 5 possessions in the half. So in a game like that, you got to maximize it. And, you know, we've still struggled running the option. We're not very good at it, to be honest with you. We've got to get way better at that than what we are right now, but we found a way to make enough plays to win.
You kind of touched on it a minute ago with the momentum shift, but it seemed like there were a couple of 2 or 3 different times when there was an opportunity to take the momentum. It looked like you guys did a really good job of seizing on those moments.
Well, at times, and we got a couple of breaks. I mean, the holding call on the long touchdown pass was huge that they hit, and you know, once we got the ball back before the last drive, when we had to punt it back to them and give it to them on the 20, I thought we could have taken control of the game there if we'd take it down and score. And we've been fairly good through the years at running the clock out when we get the ball back with 6 or 7 minutes to go and doing that. And, you know, we ended up in a 3rd and long, and really I was trying to get the ball. Wanted to get the first down, but I wanted to get the ball over there in the center of the field somewhere, because a field goal was going to put the game out of reach. It would have been 2 scores. And Vad made a great play to get the first down. I think David got a nice block for him. The guys set the edge, and ended up that we didn't have to do that.
Second half, the defense did a better job of shutting down the 3rd down, and you did a better job of controlling the tight end.
Yeah, we did a better job of you know, keeping them off the board, and they worked in tandem. The offense did a nice job holding on the ball. I don't know what the time of possession in the second half was, but it had to be really bad in our favor, I would think. Yeah, well, the overall time of possession is 40-19. Yeah.
It looked like also you got to more pressure on Renner in the second half. Do you think that was also key to the defense?
Yeah, I think it was key. And you know, our defensive staff, I thought, made some good adjustments at halftime, and Jeremiah turned it up a notch. He, you know, in the second half, he was really applying some pressure off the edge and got a couple holding calls and was really playing hard.
The run by Perkins, the 21-yard run, really seemed like it put a charge in the offense.
Yeah, we had a couple of runs that we broke that should have been touchdowns, and we've got to finish blocks. You know, Robbie Godhigh had one that he made some guys miss, and backside receiver didn't get the corner, and on Charles, the front side corner came off the wide receiver and blocked. We got to finish those blocks and put them in the end zone.
Coach, the first thing you said when you sat down is it's wet. I mean, the conditions today were awful. Just talk about, was it a little bit of an advantage because you were playing on your field and you know it better than they do?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think anybody has an advantage when it rains like that. I think it's just kind of, if you had a power running team might have an advantage. But they throw the ball around and spread it out, and we handle the ball a lot. So it's, you know, it was tough for both offenses probably to do what they'd like to do. I know it was tough throwing the ball. We had some guys early that first series or two that we thought were open, and we couldn't get it to them.
Can you talk a little bit about the safeties? You know, you get down to like pretty much 3rd, 4th string guys and who are, you know, scholarship guys, but maybe haven't played much.
Well, they stepped up and played big. Dominic Noble and you know, Demond, they played pretty much the whole game. We lost both of our other safeties early. Lost Quayshawn early in the first series. So we got a true freshman out there banging. And, you know, those kids, the moment wasn't too big for them. They stepped up and played. Coach, that's why we recruited them, to play.
I thought that David Sims ran really hard, maybe the best game of his career. Just your thoughts about
I
his
thought David
performance.
played really hard, especially in the second half. He got his pads down. It was hard to tackle. He was foot off the ground and made some nice runs. He sure did, some big plays.
And Paul,
Kept him
speaking
fresh a little better, too, I think, today.
of Sims, he scored the first touchdown. Can you talk about your thought process prior to that? You're down 13-0, fourth and goal at the 1.5, 2 yard lines. Did you know all along you were going? Did you consider kicking a field goal there to get some points?
No,
No?
no. What we do, if we can't make a half a yard, we're probably not going to win. The way that game was looking at that time, field goals wasn't going to do any good. So the nature of what we do, if it's a yard or less, we feel like we can get it. So we're going to go for it.
Coach, you always need a couple of breaks, and obviously on Sims' first touchdown, and then later on in the game, the fumble that was on Lee's play. I guess talk about the use of
I don't
just
know
how
if they're
important.
breaks. I mean, they're clearly Vad Lee was on the ground. A break would be like the first series when we threw the ball to Corey Dennis on the sideline and don't get a pass interference call, or we got some breaks, but it'd be a holding call when they score a 95-yard touchdown pass. Some of that. Both fumbles weren't. David's might have been close. Vaz wasn't even close. I mean, he's laying on the ground when the ball came out.
There was no question you would have reviewed, at least obviously the second one. There was no question that they were both called accurately from where you were sitting.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, they got the tape and got to run it back and look. David's was closer than Vaz. I think David's was probably bang, bang, but, they called it a touchdown, so they probably didn't have enough to overturn it. Vaz was clearly, he was on the ground when the ball came out. I never sweated that when I saw that one.
Coach, talk about the quick turnaround. You're playing on Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough challenge on our guys, and, of course, Virginia Tech's doing the same thing. So, we'll have to try to rest up. We'll come back tomorrow and clean up this game and get an evaluation of where we are physically. We're pretty beat up. So we may have to go into next week. We'll have to adjust practice and see what we can do.
Getting back to Charles Perkins, you mentioned him before. It's probably at least partially by necessity, but we saw a lot more of him in the second half.
Well, we wanted to get him out there. It wasn't just by necessity, and he had a nice play. Vad made a nice read on the option, got the ball pitched. I don't know who the other A-back was, but clearly they knocked the safety down because there was nobody out there. And, Charles had a big run. That was a momentum changer and a big play for us. And Charles has worked really hard. I can't say enough good things about him. He's come back from what was a major surgery on his shoulder and worked his tail off and just came to practice every day. And I'm so happy that he's contributing and playing the way he's playing right now. He's a great kid.
Can you talk a little bit about DeAndre and kind of his performance today? He had a couple of nice catches for you
Yeah,
guys.
he made a nice catch, and so did Darren Waller. Catch down there in the goal line was what we've been waiting for. Use that 6'6". Go up and get the ball, and he had another nice catch over on the sideline. And, it was tough to throw the ball. I'm sure, you're going to talk to Vad in a minute, but I'm sure it was pretty tough to throw the ball, too.
When Vad came out with he got hit pretty hard. You kept Justin in. It looked like he could come back. You just wanted him to finish out the series, or what was it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of confidence in Justin. I mean, it wasn't that we felt like we need to get him back out. I didn't know if he was ready to go or not. I didn't put him back in until the trainer came up and said, hey, he's good to go.
Do you know any more about Quayshawn or any of the guys that left the game?
Just know he left the game hurt.
Okay.
Coach, last year, and variables are different with the weather, but that team put up 50 on you. Does this kind of show where your defense, how far they've come? You shut them out in the second half?
Well, hopefully we're better. That's not the same team that put up 50 last year either. They're missing a pretty good running back and a right guard that was a first-round draft pick, and But I thought our defense played very well in the second half, and clearly I think we're ahead of where we were a year ago at this time, no question.
Two more questions, please. Anybody else?
First half, Morris, who's a pretty explosive runner, got outside pretty easily, and then seemed to be able to shut that down.
Yeah,
the rest
we
of the
made
game.
some good adjustments. Coach Roof and the staff made some good adjustments in the second half to kind of box that and turn it back inside where we had a little better pursuit. Yep.
Coach, I don't know if you're aware or not, but some of your players had something in their wristbands and towels that said APU, which was apparently something in protest of the NCAA.
Protest.
I'm
Yeah,
curious- well,
they
how
need
we-
to protest.
I'm
No, I
curious-
wasn't aware of it.
Okay. Do you have any
And
reaction?
I can assure you that now that I am aware of it, we'll talk to them about it.
Because it looked like almost two different games defensively. You guys could barely slow them down their first 4 possessions. They had 3 touchdowns and moved the ball even on the other, and then almost nothing from there. They had a lot of room in the passing game early, very little late. The running game got tight for them. What adjustments were made? At least speak about in the secondary. What did you guys do differently after the first few possessions?
I think we just got a lot more aggressive instead of waiting to get a punch to them. It was, a couple balls in the air that early, I think we probably could have made plays on, and I think in the second half we just kind of dug deep and leaned on each other and got aggressive in the passing game.
Lou, what did you see on the interception and the deflection and then the interception?
I was actually in man coverage. I was in press man, and the guy ran like a post, like a stop. And I was behind him, and I thought he was throwing it at me. So I was going to break up, I guess, in front of me, and then I looked over, and the ball was going to 85, and Jamia tipped it, and then I was just at the right place at the right time.
How difficult was it to shut down their tight end?
He's a big dude, with good hands and good routes, so really, we had to fight. We just had to fight and dig deep for that because, you can't go in there soft against him.
I guess how much confidence did you guys get after the offense scores at the end of the first half, and then you guys hold, and then they're able to score again, and you guys kind of get out in front? Did that change everything for you guys defensively?
We made a couple crucial mistakes in the first half, kind of hurting ourselves, and I had the touchdown pass when I was covering the guy. It's just a scramble rule. We was in man coverage, and I broke on the out route, and Brandon got out the pocket, and that's just day one. He likes to scramble, and the receivers, if they do a short route, they're gonna go deep, and if they deep, they're gonna come back up. So just being attention to detail, and I think in the second half we kind of calmed ourselves down and just went back to the basics.
It looked like the guys that came in for Jamal and they seemed like they filled in. Excuse me. How can you talk about the play of in the safeties and then secondary, just being able to fill in the play of the backup secondary is what we're talking about.
Once they got comfortable, I just told them, that they belong out here, and they got their confidence built up. I think Dominique came up and made a big play on 85. Then he made another big play in the run game. D-Mon was coming downhill hitting, and once you get your juices flowing, you get comfortable out there, and then that energy just flowed through the whole defense, and it was contagious, really.
It seemed like the pass rush helped you guys probably out in the back end a little more than has the first.
Yeah,
couple games.
late in the game, we were really basically in man coverage, out like press man. So, coach believes in us on the outside, and we believe in the D-line to get pressure, and we hold them guys up and make plays on the ball.
What does it say about just the character of your defense to let them score the way they did, and then to really kind of turn the water off after the possession?
Like even in the previous game, there were plays where teams are getting stuff because we kind of hurting ourselves, like mental errors and stuff like that. So I think just going back on the film and getting ready for this next week, just cleaning up some things so we won't hurt ourselves.
I know this game just ended, but I imagine after what happened last year at the end of the year up in Blacksburg, you guys will be pretty excited for that game as well.
I'm very excited. I didn't get to play in it last year, so I'm very excited.
One more question for Luke.
It seemed like you had probably one of your best days today, and were particularly running strong in the second half. Kind of, what did you guys do to get the offense going?
We just got in our groove. Coach started calling some plays, to try to get us going on the inside, and we were taking advantage of it.
Couldn't get one more yard today?
If I would have knew about it, I probably would have tried to lobby for it. But, as long as we get the victory, I'm happy. But this is the second time this happened? Happened USC too, so it is what it is.
Was North Carolina doing anything different in the second half defensively?
For the most part, they stayed the same. We just made our adjustments and we adapted. And I think that's going to be very key for us, going forward, especially against, Virginia Tech coming up this Thursday. We're going to have to adapt to whatever they come with.
Dave, you talk about the first touchdown, and was there any nerves on your part about when it was being reviewed? Do you have any doubt that you had broken the plane?
On that one, I really didn't know. When they said it was a touchdown, I was thankful. But I probably should have just ran through the guy. But I was thinking try to get over top because I figured they were going to go low. That was something I should have did differently, though.
What was it like playing in the conditions today, and how slippery was the football?
Oh, the football was slippery. It's been a while since I've played like a whole game in that type of condition, probably like 11th grade. But, what helped us was we scrimmaged in it. We practiced in rain. That's why we were able to throw the ball efficiently. I wish we would have held on to it a little bit better. We had like 4 fumbles, but we did enough to get the job done.
Down 13-0 after the first, you guys didn't flinch. What was the mindset when you guys found yourselves down 2 scores, and just what was the resolve that you guys showed all day?
We knew they were going to come out with their hair on fire, like Coach always says. We just had to take their best punch, and, just try to roll with it. We knew that once we got going, it would be hard for them to stop us, and that's what ended up happening in the second half. We got a touchdown, then we got another touchdown before the second half. And, after that, we just kept going.